It's moving backwards, possibly retracing Bitcoin's price. And I do want to preface that this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. And this is just my personal analysis of what I am seeing based on the astrology. Okay. So right now, this is the 9th through the 19th, through the end of this new moon cycle. Right now is the 8th, the 9th. Sorry, make sure my notes aren't all over the place. All right, so tomorrow is November 9th, Mercury stations retrograde. I do expect today's energies to be somewhat chaotic, a little, not so positive. It's also Sunday, it's the weekend, so trading is not as active on the weekends usually. But tomorrow with Mercury stationing retrograde, we can expect to have more of a challenged market. Mercury does represent trading, so things that have to do with trading to the technology behind it and other things could be part of the chaos with trading. But overall, Mercury retrograde usually gives a negative emotional sentiment to the market. Now that energy, excuse me, let me back up. Also on November 9th, we have Saturn trine to Lilith. Now, this is positive, but Saturn is retrograde. Mercury is just stationing retrograde. So while this is a positive transit that's occurring, Mercury retrograde could overtake this positive transit. And because Saturn is also retrograde, it could, this transit might not manifest to what it could be, making the market move in a positive direction. But it could surprise us too, and it could overtake the Mercury retrograde. But Mercury retrograde, like I said, usually tends to bring negative emotional sentiment within the traders, and that does filtrate into the markets. On the 9th, also, Mars does trine Bitcoin's moon, and the sun does trine Bitcoin's Uranus. So these two transits could help the 9th with Mercury retrograde. It could have periods of positive momentum. But again, overall with Mercury retrograde, I do see this as this could be an overall negative emotional sentiment. Not to say that there will not be green candles in the market. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's going to be more of a challenging day. So let's move on to the 11th. The 10th, there's no transits happening. The November 10th could follow how the market moves on November the 9th. On November the 11th, it's a pretty important day. Jupiter stations retrograde. This one, I do see it as a bit more challenging than Mercury retrograde. And the reason is because Jupiter is expansion, luck, abundance. With it going retrograde, it is expanding the opposite of abundance and luck and stuff like that. It's moving backwards, possibly retracing Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin came down to, I think it was $102,000 yesterday or towards the end of this week. We could be retracing back down towards those numbers. Again, I don't give out numbers, but it could be retracing back downwards. So again, between the 9th and the 11th, I do expect the overall emotional sentiment to be challenged, to be negative. That's not to say that there won't be any positive movement at all in the market. Saturn trine Lilith could give us a surprise, but overall, negative emotional sentiment. November the 13th, we have the sun sextile to Bitcoin Saturn. This is positive. This could help to help people have more of a, I want to say, positive outlook, lifting their spirits a bit more, finding the light at the end of the tunnel from the 9th and the 11th. So I do see the 13th as more of a positive day, especially with the sun sextile to Saturn. That usually produces positive market momentum. The 14th, we have the sun square Bitcoin's Neptune and Neptune sextile to Bitcoin's Jupiter. Okay, this is pretty powerful. Neptune does the most unexpected things in Bitcoin's chart. Now, I forgot to say this in the beginning, but when I'm talking about Bitcoin, I'm really talking about the overall market because Bitcoin is Bitcoin dominance. So Neptune sextile Bitcoin's Jupiter, that's very positive. The sun square Bitcoin's Neptune. That is a transit that causes concern. What I'm trying to say is that this could be a very positive day or a very challenging day. With Neptune, it is surprising, and expect the unexpected with this. Transiting Neptune is retrograde as well. But that doesn't matter with Neptune. So there's these two important Neptune transits occurring. Expect the unexpected with this day. It's going to be strong market movement, positive or negative. I would like to say that, the transiting Neptune sextile to Bitcoin's Jupiter will overtake the market, and it could, but with Neptune, we don't know. So for the 14th, I'm going to say that large market movement on that day, positive or negative, but it's going to be large price, whether price goes, straight candles up, or it could be straight candles down. So that is the 9th through the 14th. Remember 16th and 17th, I do have this as positive. I don't know why I have it as positive. Give me a moment. Okay. So the 16th and the 17th, all transits are pointing positive. There's nothing challenging coming in to interfere with the market. And this is not to say that the market's going to explode and go up to $500,000. I'm just saying that there's nothing challenging the market, so the overall momentum will be positive. More green candles than red candles on this day. The 16th and 17th, November the 18th. Okay, so November 18th and the 19th, we could start to feel the influence of Uranus-Neptune sextile in the general transits charts. This sextile is positive, so we could expect to see this causing and influencing the market starting on the 18th and 19th in a positive way. But I do have my reservations about that. And that is because on the day that it happens, there's some things going on with Mars. And I'll get there. That's on the new moon. But 18th and 19th, we could see the market starting to pick up. Could be starting to be very positive. Uranus, Neptune, unexpected. They do things out of the blue. So the market could be moving on the 16th and 17th, showing positive greed. And on the 18th, or starting on the 18th or 19th, we could start to see the market possibly just start moving straight up. Possibly. Or if this transit causes the opposite to happen, we could see the market going straight down. But I do see this as, this transit happens on the 20th, and I see the days before the 18th and 19th to show more positive signs in the market. On the transits on the 18th, it's a mix of fear and greed and volatility. Sun is conjunct to Neptune on November the 18th. This could cause volatility, and Mercury will be entering back into Scorpio. This is on November the 18th. So without Uranus-Neptune influence, this will be a volatile day, but Uranus and Neptune could be starting to influence this day and could be push and overriding any other transits going on. And like I said, it could be sudden, just positive upward trajectory, or it could be sudden downward trajectory. Large market movement expect to start around the 18th. Oops. November 19th, this day will be largely influenced by the new moon and Uranus-Neptune sextile. It's the day before the full moon. So, you know, I would like to say that it's going to this transit is going to influence with positive influence in the market. But because of Mars's square to the North Node, expect the unexpected, but large movement will likely be occurring starting on the 18th or the 19th, leading up to the 20th. And again, I wish I could say it's going to be good or bad, but it's just going to be strong market movement, and you'll have an idea of which way the market is going when you see the charts and the candles going either up or down. Okay, so that is the rest of this month up until the day before the new moon. Can we expect positive outcome November 11th after correction on the 9th and the 10th? So the 11th, I expect that to be challenging as well. That could be a mix of positive and negative. When I say challenging, it doesn't have to be red candles in the market all day. But Jupiter is going retrograde on that day. It happens at 11:41 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So I do expect this period, the 9th through the 11th, to be pretty challenged. Or if it's not all red candles going down, 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 I don't expect the market to have, say the price is at 100,000 Bitcoin. Just say, I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. I don't see the price having a price rise. Could be trading up and down, you know, moving up, moving down, but I don't see the market expanding and moving higher during this time. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys soon. Like, subscribe, and share.